Hello and welcome back to Testing Sobriety Mounjaro UK. I've been meaning to change the name of the channel for so long. Let me know if you've got any suggestions. It's a bit of a mouthful. In alternative news, non-Mounjaro related, I've got a new pet. Here is Barry the baby mouse. And the reason Barry has been introduced to my little family is because this naughty little bugger here, yeah, she looks innocent. I woke up yesterday, came downstairs to feed her, and I saw that she'd knocked her food bowl out of place. So I thought maybe another cat had been in and they'd had a bit of a ruck, because that has happened before. Another cat has come into the through the cat flap. But then I saw this teeny tiny little mouse on the floor, and I thought it was dead because it was prone. And then Annie went up to it, head butted it, and I saw its little leg twitch. So I thought, shit, it's still alive. It's somewhere between dead and alive, and I do not want to have to deal with that. But I decided to see if it was just stunned, and so I have been keeping it in a little box, keeping it warm. It's got a little bit of food, a little bit of water, and it is moving around, but it's quite weak, I suppose. And I think it might have, I couldn't see any visible injuries, but it doesn't seem to have full use of its rear legs or rear. I don't know whether it's like internal, like its hips or bones down in that lower region. I don't know, but it doesn't seem fit enough to, it's definitely not fit enough to go back into the wild. I feel like that would be cruel. It's just going to get eaten by prey, and I'd just rather it have a comfortable end stage of life here in the warm with some food. So far I've only been giving it some bird food that I had, and I did try a few crumbs from some bread, but I don't think it really liked that. It did eat a little bit of some bacon. Don't know if you're supposed to feed mice bacon. It did seem to enjoy nibbling at the bacon. So that's Barry the baby mouse. And on to Mounjaro. So this week I took 2 milligrams of Mounjaro on Wednesday, and that was 8 days prior to my last dose of 2 milligrams. And that was because I actually forgot I was away this week. I had 2 nights in a hotel for a work training event. And so, of course, being away does make, obviously you need to factor in taking your Mounjaro with things like that. And so to me, it made sense to just delay it a day, because I knew I'd be eating in the pub or in the hotel or whatever. So I wanted to be able to eat the food. I didn't want a fresher dose of Mounjaro in me. So I delayed it for a day and took it on the Wednesday. And in terms of what I ate, while I was away, I felt like I was gaining weight. I didn't eat excessive amounts of food because the Mounjaro was still doing its job in terms of stopping me from overeating. I did order a pizza just in a restaurant, so not an excessively sized takeaway pizza. And I probably ate 3/4 of it, or maybe somewhere between a half and 3/4 of it. And another day I shared a slice of cake, and the night before that in the hotel I had a katsu curry and rice. The chicken was sort of breaded chicken, and then rice and some curry sauce. So that didn't feel too excessive, and I wasn't able to eat all of that either. So I didn't overeat, but I felt a little bit, just felt a bit chubby when I got home. I felt like I wanted to lose weight again. I felt like I had a bit of excess on my stomach. So I did go for a really long walk one day to just try and make myself feel better, and sort of ate a bit better for a few days, feeling a bit more like, oh, I'm going to go into weight loss mode for a couple of days. And then as the Mounjaro's been wearing off, and I do feel like maybe this dose is a bit too low for me, I have been really sort of craving carb heavy foods, calorie dense foods. So, for example, yesterday I had a pizza from the co-op. It's like a single person's pizza, so not particularly massive. And I actually did manage to eat all of it. Night before that, this is embarrassing. This feels like a confessions. The night before that, I had a Frey and Bentos pie, you know, those tinned pies that you put in the oven. And I did eat it all again. So, and I've had, it's getting worse and worse. The co-op had a deal, a discount on those goo puddings. You know, you get two little cheesecakes in glass ramekins. And I had one yesterday, and I've had one already today as sort of like a dessert from my brunch. So food-wise, I feel like it is more calorie dense just in general. And I feel after my brunch today, which was a slice of sourdough and 2 slices of bacon, and then that cheesecake, it's not an excessive amount of food, but I feel a bit, I feel fat. I feel excess chub on my belly, like I'm rubbing my chub as I speak. So let's talk about exercise this week. I have done better. I have improved on last week's exercise. I've done 3 swims, a couple of long walks. I have been doing, apart from one day, every single day, I have done, I'd say, a minimum of 15 squats and sit-ups, but most days it's more like 20, sometimes 40. So doing these things at home, plus I've got my bar that I can try and do pull-ups on, and I've been making an effort to see what I can do 2 or 3 times a day on the bar. And that is really improving, because I was doing it quite regularly and getting fairly good. Then I neglected it, and then when I tried again, I'd lost the power, and now I'm back. I can feel that I can pull myself, well, I still can't pull myself up. I have to jump up. But then when I'm up, I can do a little bit of pulling up and down, and I can hold myself in place for longer. So that is improving. So hopefully I'm working on building some muscle. So yeah, I'm happy with the exercise. So my goal for the week with the exercise is just to keep it up. I mentioned in the last 2 videos, I have been having trouble curbing my buying. So this is not really Mounjaro related. I think it's related to the weight loss and wanting to buy new clothes because I feel good. And I have curbed that a little bit. I still have ordered a couple of things last week, and I got paid on the 15th. I think that was yesterday or the day before. And I have decided, I'm holding myself accountable with you, that I am not buying anything this month. So from the 15th to the 15th, that's payday. So that's my month. When I say not buying anything, I'm specifically talking about unnecessary things like clothing. That's my main problem. No clothes and no beauty products. If I was to run out of conditioner, that's different. But anything else, you know, a really nice smelling body oil is definitely not allowed. So no clothes, no unnecessary items, no perfume. I have given myself an out on that. If I find a hard to find perfume, something that's discontinued, something that's a bit special and it's a really good price, I'm allowed to do that. But I'm not going to go looking for it. But I can't ever turn down an opportunity to own something rare and beautiful to do with my hobby. So there is that. And there's one other caveat, I think you call it, is there's going to be a jumper released on Suzanne in December. I don't have the date in December, but it's a jumper style that I like, that I already own one of. and the colour's called water green. My favourite colours are aquamarine type colours. So if I like the look of it when it's released, I might let myself buy it. That's my only caveat. But that might not be released till after payday anyway, in which case then I'm no longer on the no buy. I can buy Christmas presents because obviously Christmas is coming. So of course I can buy Christmas presents. I just can't buy myself stuff. So that's my no buy, and I'm holding myself accountable here, and I'm giving you permission. I will be honest with you the next few weeks. I will tell you what I have bought or not bought. Hopefully I'll be telling you that I haven't bought anything. So I feel more steadfast in this now. I've made this decision. So please ask me if I don't tell you for whatever reason. Ask me if you bought anything this week, Claire. Right then, how is maintenance going in general? If you haven't been following me, I'm trying to maintain my weight at this point. I reached my goal weight of 9.5 stone, and I'm really happy with this weight, and I felt like I didn't want to lose any more because I'm just happy here, so why lose more? I do have excess fat still on my stomach, and according to the Renfo app, I'm still in the red in terms of my body fat. My body fat percentage is still quite high, but I felt like I could change that body composition without losing weight, and I would actually have a better chance at it. If I'm eating more calories, I've got more chance of building muscle. So that was sort of what I'm going for. But I have weighed today, and I've gone up very slightly on last week. So today's weight was 134 pounds, and that is 9 stone 8. So I'm now 3 pounds above the lowest weight that I've achieved so far, and I'm 1 pound away from the highest point that I want to be in my range. And I don't like that feeling. I would rather be fluctuating lower down, halfway between my lowest, which would be 9 stone 3, and my highest 9 stone 9. I would rather be sat in the middle, and I'm not. I'm sat near the top, and it feels uncomfortable. Maintenance is so strange. It's a whole nother brain fog. Honestly, excuse my language, but maintenance seems to be more of a take up more space in my head than weight loss did. Yeah, so last week I was 133.6. So I've only gained point something of a pound this week. I'm not beating myself up about it, but I do know that my food choices have been more on the unhealthy side more often, and it's not a good way to be in general. You don't get any nutrition really from bread, from cheesecake, things like that. I would be so much better off if I was eating more meat and more vegetables and fruit, and just in general sort of protein and stuff. So I think my problem here, is just making sort of not great food choices, and I wonder if being on the lower dose of Mounjaro has anything to do with that. I'm not sure. So my decision is that I am going to go into weight loss mode for just to try and get 2 or 3 pounds off. In actual fact, what I want to aim for 131 pounds. So that is 3 pounds off, isn't it? I'm 134, yeah. If I can be 131, that is 9 stone 5. And then if I can maintain around there, that I would feel just more comfortable with that. So I'm going to increase my dose ever so slightly. I'm going to go up to 2.5 instead of 2. And I will potentially take it weekly. I say that because I'm always going to change it ever so slightly if I've got plans. If I'm planning a takeaway or dinner or lunch or whatever, then I'm gonna mess around slightly. I might delay it or take it early to avoid, you know what I mean. Change things around just so that the social eating is more enjoyable. I'm not aware of any plans that I have food wise for the next week anyway. So I will be taking my 2.5 milligrams on Wednesday, maybe even earlier, because I feel like I need a bit more help, because it's very unusual for me to eat a dessert in the middle of the day. I have been swimming today. I'll give myself that. I've been swimming today, and I did do a little bit of work on my arms in the gym. And when I say a little bit, I literally mean 2 sets of 2 different arm exercises. One is like a pulling one, and one is like a pulling down. Yeah, not a lot. But I found it quite hard work, and I hadn't eaten before I went swimming and went to the gym. And then as I was doing the arm exercises, felt really shaky. So I didn't do a lot. But yeah, it's unusual for me to be reaching for a dessert in the middle of the day. And the fact that I'd eaten sourdough bread and bacon as well, I think I might need to take it a little bit earlier, as I did only take 2 milligrams last Wednesday. And if I want to go into weight loss mode, then I might actually take 2.5 tomorrow. I think I might do that. Anyway, I'm thinking aloud. I will let you know what I end up doing, but that's what I'm thinking. Obviously, if you've got your own thoughts on the matter, if you think I'm messing around too much with things, let me know. And I'm always curious to see what other people think. Are you doing maintenance at the moment? Do you find it more of a we'll call it a mind fart, because the last word I used beginning with F was not pleasant, and I should not repeat it. Do you find it more taxing to maintain than it actually is to lose weight? Let me know. And have you got any tips for it? Because it's a lot. It's a lot of thinking, and I feel like it's a lot of up and down. Like I sometimes feel like I'm overeating, then I'm undereating to make up for it, because I think, oh my God, I think I'm gaining weight, I better try and lose some. Just feel like it's a bit of a roller coaster. Hopefully I can find my way. I need to develop healthy habits, and I need to have some consistency around that. And so yeah, buying healthy food, vegetables, salads, fruits, meats, and sticking to mostly those foods, I think would be a really good start. So I think that is me. I think that's me. I think that's me done today. I appreciate you watching. Thank you so much. If you liked the video, do give me a little bit of a thumbs up, and please subscribe if you haven't already, and then you'll know when I post my next video, and you can hold me accountable for the promises I've made about not shopping. Bye.